Surprise, bitches. It is your special guest for this Week 7 prediction show. Gonna shit on your guys' league a little bit. Let's get it going. So first off, for those of you who may have forgotten who I am, Dr. Sean Sanford. Been working on a PhD since some of y'all have last seen me. Finished that shit up pretty quick. I am your 2013-2014 league champion. Don't forget that. 10 years ago, kicked Dempsey's ass in the finals. Don't ever forget it. I am the leader of the hashtag Free Sanford movement. Got a lot of support. Would love to keep that going. See y'all next year. And then starting today, I am the leader of the Kyler Murray for 2024-2025 Comeback Player of the Year. Right there. We are welcoming all members. Now, before we go ahead and kick this thing off, I do have one special ceremony. So we are going to do a lighting of the torch ceremony. That's right. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Woo. Great start. Great start. I'm going to go ahead. Leave this here for any potential people who might want to join the new campaign. Well, we're going to go ahead and kick off this Week 7 prediction show with a little bit of me shit-talking your guys' league, seeing what your teams have to offer. So I would like to personally thank brother Oscar Ramirez for inviting me this week and for allowing me to log on and shit on your league. First thing I wanted to do was look at the league standings, see how you guys are doing. See, does anybody stand out? Anybody doing good? Anybody doing bad? What do we see? Well, that doctor in me was looking at the stats, looking at the numbers. When you look by points for, the top 4 teams are in the top 5 points for. It's a good sign. You guys are doing well. You guys are putting up scores. Makes sense that you're in the top 4. But you guys that are in the top 4 are also in the top 4 lowest of points against. So that should even itself out by the end of the year. So who knows? You may not be top 4. We'll see how it goes going forward. My dog wants to play with me. Go get it. So league looks pretty even. Honestly, no one's really standing out. I think Oscar's getting pretty lucky here with shit for points for and really high points against and still somehow 6th overall. But we'll get into that more here in a second. Looking at the matchups. So what I'm going to do, Hank, not right now, buddy. Go lie down. What I wanted to do when I was looking at this, took a couple minutes, and I can obviously look at the matchups, see who's doing good, see who's doing bad. I was looking at the team names, seeing how you guys were doing, seeing your team, and I'm going to pick a winner. I'm going to pick a winner of this matchup for team names, and then I'm also going to predict who wins the matchup for the week. Now, team names, starting off with this matchup of Keith versus Oscar. Keith's name is very strong. Running back lives matter. I like that. It's very running back heavy with Bijan and CMC. Now, Oscar, on the other hand, Charbonnet on Rice. Zach Charbonnet is not the best player, but it goes really well. Nice and clever. You got the picture to go with it. Come on up, buddy. You got the picture to go with it, and I like that. I like that cohesiveness. No, I don't like that. Too much time. I like that cohesiveness of the picture, matching the name, matching the player. Now, for the matchup, I got Keith taking this all the way. I think his injured players are going to be more likely to play. I think CMC is going to be more likely to play than possibly, although we heard that Trevor Lawrence is going to play tonight. He's going to be limp. Saints are going to shut him down, and we'll see what Gibbs does coming back off that injury as well. So I got Keith taking this matchup, but Oscar with the better name. I got Oscar with the better team name winning that matchup. Now we move on to Belby versus Brett. Belby, a cheetah among house cats. Super clever, super funny. I like that. Very original. What do you think, Hank? Very original. Two players on his team, Tyreek and Amon-Ra St. Brown, both tied into the name. I like that. Now, Brett, I don't really see it. More J Wills, more problems. I see the J Wills, Javonte Williams, but where's this more problems? Did you have Rondale Moore on your team at one point? I think I'm missing it. I think I'm missing that pun. I'm going to give this win to Belby. Now, in terms of the predictions for the week, it's a pretty low scoring matchup, so we'll see how it goes. I think, going to slightly favor Brett on this one. Sorry, I actually took some notes. Am I favoring Brett? No, I'm going to go with Belby if he can find a quarterback. So Belby needs to find a replacement for Joe Burrow for the weekend. If he can do that, I think he takes this. If he fucks something up, I guess I'll go with Brett. But assuming Belby comes through and replaces Joe Burrow, then I got Belby winning it this week. Moving on to our third matchup of the week, Dempsey versus Big Nate. And now, Dempsey with the name Waddle. I had to scroll over it just to read it. Congrats, you got Jalen Waddle. Must be nice. Go ahead and put some guys in your lineup so I can predict this shit, because right now I got no idea what you're putting out there this week. Big Nate, love the name. Right in the Cooper, right in the pooper. Hilarious. I got it right away. You got Amari Cooper. He's a strong player. I got to give this win to Big Nate on both. He's got the better name, and I think he's going to win this week. So hands down, I got Big Nate between these two. Going to our fourth matchup, John Wilson, my big brother, versus Jablonski, who can't stop fucking trading every day. Now, J Will's name, D's irrelevant young hoes, the Young Wei Koo or Young Ho Koo. I like that. I think that's clever. All right. But Jablonski, hashtag the spreadsheet. I actually had this even in the name game to start. Gonna give the slight edge to Jablonski. When you have the logo that matches it and you bring it all together, I love that. It means you put in the efforts. I'm gonna go ahead and give the better name to Jablonski. Now, when I look at my notes to see who I think is going to win, I actually in my notes have this going to Jablonski, assuming he can put out a full lineup. We'll see what he puts in his second wide receiver spot. But I think it'll be pretty close. I was a little bit worried about what J Will was going to do with the defense. Looks like he put in Seattle Seahawks since the last time I checked. I like that. It's a strong play. So I see this being pretty close. Yeah, really hard to predict this one, but a high-scoring matchup. Going on to our fifth matchup of the week, Jay Dugas versus Mr. Pat Harrington. Now, once both you guys' names are so long, this is a downgrade of mine. If I can't read your name and I got to put the mouse over it, I don't like that. Got White in your Berkson bag and Austin Powers in the end zone. Pretty simple. Dugas, I'm going to assume at some point in the season you had Treylon Burks on your team. You don't anymore. You got to change your name. You have to update the name, have to update the team name. It's got to be fluid. So I'm going to give this win to Pat, the Austin Eckler. Austin Powers in the end zone. He's had a great year so far. Hopefully him and Barkley come back healthy. Your roster looks a lot better than that 1-5 record is showing. So I'm actually going to go with Pat in this matchup. I think if he can get Eckler and Barkley back healthy, he's going to be a real force to reckon with this second half of the season. So Pat, 2 wins, better name, better matchup. Finally, June versus Sean O'Connor. For Arjun, we got La Porta della Vittoria. I like it. Sounds like a nice fancy red wine. Sounds like something I would want to drink. Go out to dinner and order with my fiance, spend a little bit more money, spend a little bit too much money. And then O'Connor, Sutton on Deeb's nuts. I'm going to give this win to Arjun. The reason is because now, Sean, although you have 2 players and both of them are in the name, and Sutton and Debo, we already got a D's Nuts joke in the league. You and J Will both rocking a D's Nuts joke. Somebody figure this out. Somebody change your name. We can't have 2 D's Nuts jokes. It's a little bit overdone. So winner to La Porta della Vittoria. And I'm going to go ahead and see what I predicted for this win. It looks like that's right. We got a lot of injuries and a lot of buys with the first place team. So I'm actually going to get Sean O'Connor with the upset. go ahead and moving him up to 3 and 4, hitting Arjun pretty hard, dropping him down to 5 and 2. So unless he can figure something out, he's willing to drop maybe Chuba Hubbard or Tank Dell at the end of his bench. I think he's going to be struggling to fill that roster. So that about wraps up. That does wrap up my Week 7 predictions. Good luck, guys. Once again, #FreeSanford. And I'll see you all next year.